What's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Another episode of the cut. We got the regular cast of characters plus Graham.
Yes, sir.
The lesbian.
Yeah, right. Go ahead and introduce you guys. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. I guess we'll start over here with Graham.
Graham Williams, the
Dang government name.
I know the whole government.
I mean, y'all, you're like, hey, we got Graham right here. If you notice, he was in a play recently. Glad to be in the building, man. Glad to be here.
Wicked Thurman, a.k.a. Dr. Ryan. Someday.
Dr. Ryan.
Dr. Ryan.
And you will refer to me as Dr. Thurman.
No, we won't.
Dr. Thurman.
No, we won't.
We talked about this last time.
And I'm not. I am not. You're not gonna go get some bullshit PhD.
I'm not gonna get. Wait. I'm not gonna get a bullshit PhD. Let's clarify that now. I'm going to get a legit doctorate from a legit school. I'm not gonna go get. You know what I was about to call?
Dr. Art. No, I'm not calling you doctor.
Look, I was about to throw some schools out there, but I ain't gonna do that because I don't want to disparage nobody from their grind. So I'm gonna let y'all.
He getting a degree from there. I am
PhD from Phoenix.
I see that. I wouldn't even go do that because I'm
doctor from ECPI.
So I got my doctorate now.
Yo, man, why you hating on some of these folks' doctorate, bro?
Hey, I'm not hating on a doctor. I'm just not calling you a doctor.
I was just like, yo, man, it's some folks out there that's going to finish right now doing their struggle. It's real.
Exactly. All right, well, we're gonna
Me,
move on.
bad guy.
Bad guy.
I'm just here.
Who live up to his name on a regular damn basis.
Yeah.
Yo, did you ever drop that stuff from last time? The Terry Crews?
No, I actually cut it up. Well, hang on. Country boy, host, producer, guy with all these ideas, don't know what to do with them. Can't afford. I don't have the skills to do any of these fucking things. I have plenty of ideas and don't have the skills to do any of them. Anyway, no, I know I didn't. What I did was I took your advice and I split it up into two pieces. So the episode we released on Friday was the Mace and Diddy joint. Yeah. Where we bitched about Mace Diddy for an hour and then discussed whether or not Big would still have been boys with Diddy given the kind of nigga that he is. And then the Terry Crews part I cut off and I'm probably release it like a mini episode. We'll see what happens. How that shit pops off. I think they're gonna love it.
It's gonna be interesting.
I'll be honest with you though, actually looking back on it myself, I think my argument was a bit flawed. Mostly because it was predicated on the idea that Terry Crews saw something that he may or may not have seen. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So we had this argument last time, and Terry Crews basically did go to bat for Gabrielle Union because he said he didn't.
Somewhat familiar with.
He didn't. I didn't see nothing. This was not my experience.
But actually, found out that Terry Crews has done it on another occasion too.
Okay. I'm just saying. Who was it? I was going with my gut that he felt like the kind of person who would say this no matter what situation was. Arguing with my man right here, who is very adamant that if he said he didn't see shit, he didn't see shit.
That's my like until like say Ryan pulls up this experience where all right, this is a known way you are as a person, like all right, you gonna duck your head for the money, then you a bitch. That we said that, like we agree that if you really turning your head a blind eye for this money, you letting her out on this ledge by herself, that's a bitch move. But I said if he just got up there and said I don't know nothing, he literally don't know nothing, shit, niggas just don't know nothing.
Agree.
Well, see, but later on I found out that Terry Crews did the same bitch move on somebody else who brought up some stuff, and he was like, I don't know nothing about that. And I can't remember for the life of me
or TV
who
show?
It was.
But for me to call him a complete bitch though, we had to, something had to come out where say he got drunk and he's out like, yeah, bro, I'm just only after this money. Whatever they got going on is on them. Like a slight confession to showing your bitch assness, right? Okay. You just always saying you don't know ain't really evidence that you on that fuck shit.
No, but it is because, like, again, goes back to gotta have an ally in the room. And if you're not gonna be an ally in the room, then at least don't undermine me in the room.
Like I know y'all keep
so
going to
I'm
that
never
thing
gonna
of you
undermine
saying,
you.
You saying it's not your experience, it's undermining the other experience. But to me, it's not undermining enough to matter.
Okay,
That's what you're saying.
Give you two examples. Nick Cannon would ask the same thing. Guess what Nick Cannon said?
What do you mean?
Was asked the same thing
he
about
he got fired. He been fired off the show. He trying to blow smoke anyway. So
no, because he said while that experience may not be my experience, and there were some things that went on around there, However, I'm not going to discount what she said or anything like that.
Agree.
Which is
That's a more complete answer. I agree with you, but
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the same time,
But
but
for you to lay that bitch answer down and then
Last
not to
week
turn
you asked
around
me
and
what the better answer was.
And we
that is a better answer.
But that's what we came up with when we was going through the discussion. That you could have went more in depth, but realistically, I don't care. The other thing I don't want you to do is to jump on board with my shit and just be telling shit to be selling shit, and you make my shit false because you out here lying. You know what I mean? I don't want you to jump on board with me and you don't know shit, but you acting like you do.
But like I said before, found out that Terry Crews has done this before on another issue that was along the same lines, where he was asked to comment, and all of a sudden, rather than at least clearing
Just
the path
caution and said that's not me.
He
Right.
basically
Not outside of the realm of possibility that it could have happened.
He basically just said that nah, that ain't what I see.
Yeah.
And I think what messed him up is when he talked about, my experience is so diverse. It's so like, whoa, no. For him to kind of expound as far as what he sees versus what she experienced, to me is kind of what leaned it to the more negative. Because if you said like that hasn't been my experience here. I haven't seen anything like that. But that's her case to prove, or no comment. But for him to say like, they're very inclusive, to almost, instead of just making a blanket statement, he kind of specified that his experience has been they're very inclusive, which is the opposite of what she said.
Right.
And I think that's the only thing that makes it look worse on him, because
what if that's the truth? What if that's the truth?
No, it's fine, because if it's true, then just be like, hey, I didn't see that.
So now
she has her case to prove that, and just leave it at that. That's not my experience. But when you add and say, because if I'm saying, man, they haters up there, man, they are the most loving people ever. You could have left that out. Yeah. You could leave that out. Just say, hey, that's not been my experience here.
So I mean, to paraphrase, I think that we can't say for certain what experience Terry Crews had to say 100% that he's a bitch. But I will say this. He does have some bitch tendencies. He got some tendencies where you like, nigga.
And that's my thing. If you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me third, and can't get fooled again.
I can't get fooled again. I said,
can't fool me again.
So
it was Tennessee.
So
can't get fooled again.
Terry Crews. So I think we need boycott Terry Crews is about to be a real thing, and I'm about to cost this motherfucker some money. Cause
I feel like
you say, what he does is he just scratched the edge. He ain't jumped over the line. He's not
a habitual line stepper. He just get right up to that line.
He's like, you know what? These niggas is on me. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna fall back.
Yeah.
We in mid-season. I'm
mid-season form.
All right. So what you got, homeboy?
Oh man. So he brought up the Johnny Depp shit the last time we had stopped taping. It's not no black people stuff, but it was still in the same vein. Because basically what happened with Johnny Depp and his ex-wife Amber Heard. I don't think they still together. I think it's his ex-wife. Anyway, basically what happened is that she had some tape confessions where she was talking about how she used to hit Johnny Depp, and how he couldn't do shit about it because nobody would ever believe him. Would ever believe you that I'm beating you up, basically. That's basically the synopsis of the situation. So in the tape confessions, it basically was like, I'm sorry I hit you across the face. You know what I'm saying? He said, she was like, I wish I'd have punched you in the face.
So wait a minute. This is just like, was it secretly recorded, or is this just like her sitting confession booth style? Like,
I think he started recording.
Recording
it because it's in here opens up about violent tantrums and a series of tape conversation the estranged couple made in 2015. Because they try to talk through their marital problem.
Yeah, because she started jumping on that whole Me Too movement. She knew she was being throwing his ass under the bus. I don't think she knew he was taping her.
I mean, they were trying to work through their marital problems.
Yeah, but when you listen to him and he just started asking her questions, trying to get out the truth about how you was doing this shit to me, but you out here telling folks this is what I'm doing to you, and she like, I'm a woman, I can do whatever I want to do. This is just the way it is.
Wow,
like, get the fuck out of here, lady.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. I think she was in the Aquaman movie. I was not really familiar with her. There also is a big age gap between the two. They on some Hollywood shit. So she like 33 and he 56.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you know how Hollywood is. It's weird. You know, the niggas is weird.
It's super weird.
The niggas is weird. So I don't try to understand that. But at the heart of this is some real shit. This is some stuff that dudes are faced on a regular damn basis.
It just shows that just because you like we got this stigma that it's always the man.
Yeah.
But you got to realize because we in this position, you give women that power. Well, there's some women out there that can get the fuck over. It's like you realize that gap. And it's like I can do. It's a little margin where I can slide in and I can hit you for everything you own. And
Nobody's gonna believe
ain't nobody
you.
gonna blink an eye at it.
Nobody's gonna believe you. Can hit somebody random. You can hit a random woman, and they would be like,
I can't believe you.
I cannot believe you. What kind of person? Who raised you? Who raised these niggas?
Until they see the tapes. Until they see
And even the tape is what happened before that. What goddamn do I need to like record at the minute it pops in my mind?
And I've seen ones where like the tape, like I've seen instances where like the woman was definitely the aggressor, and they still be like, but if he would have held some restraint, I'm like, well, don't put your hands on people. Like I'm not advocating that you should put your hands on a woman. But if you want that smoke and someone brings the smoke to you,
you can't all of
a sudden play the victim here. You brought the smoke to yourself.
But I always say that if you know that this is the case, right? But turn and walk away.
And then she hit you in the back of the head with that broom.
Then she hit you in the back of the head with a brick.
And your ass is out.
What if she hit you in the head with a brick and you out? She goes to jail for assault.
Okay, so what if she hit you in the head with a brick and you ain't out and she come over there rushing you? What you do then?
If she hit you in the back of the head with a brick, she get hit with assault.
No, so you just gonna keep taking the ass with what on top of you?
I mean, which would you rather do? Go to jail?
Bro, you hit me with a brick. We finna both go to jail.
I'm gonna tell you something.
If she hit you in the head with a brick and you fight her back, both of y'all will go to jail. They'll sort it out in jail.
I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail.
Here's the thing.
If I'm going to jail,
here's the thing. Why I got to go to jail? Because if I hit her in the back of the head with a brick and she called the police on me, I'm just going to jail.
They putting you right in jail.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think what happens is the art of context has died.
Well, no,
not even because I hear what you're saying. Because my mother always told me, "Say, don't do that. Walk away from that situation."
No, but see, the police these days they arrest everybody. So there's no more we gonna try to figure out who's right. No, they arrest everybody. That's the reason why whenever I see the police come up, I'm gone because I know
there's bound to be some smoke.
I know that the police will arrest everybody. And one thing, I ain't got no money for no cash bond to get out just to be found not guilty later on and have lost my $1,000.
Right.
So police come, I'm gone.
And can someone be made an example of? Like, can he now sue for defamation of character? Like, what can be done in situations to say,
he could sue for defamation, but what would he get from her? Like, does she have like some money?
I can get $10. The fact that this is setting the precedent, just like when somebody goes to jail for just reckless assault on, where you like, man, he really, he needs to go to jail for really putting his hands on her like that. Hey, you need to do some jail time, player. Like, I mean, if I pursue this case, I need you to do some time, just like you would make an example out of me if she was on the other foot. I not necessarily sue, but press charges. Like,
if you were to do all that, I mean, I still don't think it wouldn't really affect anything.
Right, but if he was
status quo was still
if he was beating her ass, he'd be all the way under the jail.
But again, that's because I think because what you're saying is perceived as an exception, not the rule.
What's an exception?
Is it?
Is it perceived as an exception, not the rule?
Not necessarily anymore though. It's no longer an exception for women to be trying to get over. It's common practice.
It is an exception because like I know plenty of women that ain't trying to get over. It's like
I know plenty of men that ain't beating women. Ain't none of us at this table ever beat a woman. But but when you shine the light on, the first thing they're gonna say, believe, is you the aggressor, right? When 9 times out of the 10, men ain't out here just beating women.
I mean,
they
most
are
of us,
aggressive.
Who raised you niggas? Most of us, our mama told us for very, very early on not to put your hands on a woman. Men don't do that. Women know that for a fact. And they're willing to push that because they know.
Now they're the aggressor.
Yeah, right? So now they're the aggressor because they know you're not going to do shit.
The vibe has switched. We are no longer the aggressor. It's mostly the women that come out here and run up in your face.
But if you on some high kind of shit.
But again, if you're gonna play the exceptions game, cool. Y'all 100% right. But again, that's the exception, not the rule.
Is it?
Because like I walk around all day and talk to females all the time. and ain't never ran into no conflicts like that. Ain't never seen no
What do you mean?
conflicts like
Well, a
that.
chick is popping off at the mouth and going at somebody?
I mean, cause
Yeah,
I
I
don't
ain't
see it on-
seen
you
it.
ain't
I
never
ain't
seen it?
I think
I've seen
that's
that
way
more
more
often.
likely.
I've seen
I
that
feel
more
that's
often
way
in
more
public than
likely
I've
than the
seen
other
two
way around.
dudes fighting.
And to be honest with you, any of the times I have seen that, I've always asked the question, "Why don't you leave, bruh?"
Why don't you ask the same thing if a woman in a relationship
Why you
like
ain't
that?
leaving?
Why you not asking
Ask her
her
the same
why you don't
question.
leave? Maybe
I
you got
do.
kids.
I
Maybe
do
you got
ask both of
responsibility.
them,
Maybe.
but
Maybe
like,
I actually love this woman and she just crazy. Like,
Exactly. Maybe she's crazy as hell.
but here's my thing though: if you know you got more to lose, the person with the most to lose is typically the person that needs to walk away.
Yeah, easier said
Right?
than done. I mean, in
Yeah,
principle,
very much
yes.
You can say easier
In
said
theory,
than done,
and
but
and
again,
the thing is, most
I
of they probably on the
walk
same
away.
page. Ain't no most to lose. It's like trying to figure shit out, but she want to get
Yeah,
feisty.
but you as a dude, you know you got more to lose because you go to jail.
Why-
In order for
but
her to go
I
to
ain't
jail,
put-
you got to tell the cops that she did something to you, and you got to prove that she scratched you or whatever. And then they may put her in the cuffs and take her on downtown.
All she has
right?
to say is, you did. I mean, yeah, y'all are both go downtown.
So why are you even staying in that presence and arguing these
because you
this
don't want to warn it.
bullshit?
Because you don't want to warn out for your arrest. You want to be there when the police get there, so you can explain your
No,
side.
before you even get to the police side, why you not walking
'Cause
away
this is
in
my house, too.
advance? It don't matter if it's your house. If you
So-
got
so
more
why
to
I got-
lose,
why I
It does matter.
why I got to leave my?
Why I gotta leave my house?
shit, my choices are go to jail, leave my house.
Why I gotta go to jail?
I'll walk out my house
If
because you fool with a crazy chick.
If
That's
I'm
the
not
reason
guilty,
why.
if I didn't do nothing wrong, I should not have to leave. I shouldn't have to leave my house. I shouldn't have to
Yeah,
just
you
sit here and
shouldn't.
separate myself from a situation that I did not start, that I did not
Yeah,
instigate.
you shouldn't. But why would you not?
So what we arguing with you is that the perception needs to flip.
The
'Cause
perception is not
perception-
going to flip, though.
What we
That's
saying
it.
is, but the
Just
status quo has
that
changed,
simple.
right? Why
no,
wouldn't it
the,
flip?
The status quo is not going to change.
Perception doesn't
because
need
you're
to flip.
still talking about an exception and not a rule.
If people want equal rights, you want people
Right.
to view genders equally. Then it needs to be the same for everyone.
Across the board.
Across the fucking board.
Okay, yeah. If you assault somebody, you go
You
to jail.
saw somebody, you put your hands on somebody,
Which
you
is
take your ass
fine,
fucking
and
jail.
it
It doesn't really matter the size.
That is given. That is the way assault works. I don't understand what y'all are talking about then.
Because the difference between the legality of assault and what happens in the real world is two fucking
I
different
see
things.
what y'all want to do is y'all just want to argue the exception.
I'm not arguing the exception. I'm arguing that it's
you
not an
are.
exception.
You're
I'm arguing that this is real life.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I'm not saying it's an exception. I'm saying
What
this
I'm
is real
saying
fucking life.
is that like is that you're saying that women are coming at guys in order to
And I'm saying that it's
initiate
not. This is
fight.
not an
And
exception.
I'm saying
And
that
I'm
that is
saying
a
that
fucking
it is just as
exception. That is
prevalent
not the
as
rule.
Right. It's just
It's just as prevalent as the other way around. It's just less reported because men won't talk about it.
It's not the 70s. No, it's 2020.
No, it's 2020.
And it's 2020.
And we got some
and it's-
aggressive
and
ass
it's-
brides.
and
Yeah,
it's-
exactly.
know they can
And they
take
put
advantage of
and they
it.
putting their hands on guys, and guys are still living in a society where we can't do anything about it, and we're not going to talk about it because who wants to be the guy that's going around with getting his ass kicked by his woman?
If you want to play the victim card,
I'm not playing the victim card. I'm telling you what's
argue the
happening.
Exception. Where are you getting this from? Like where the stats? Where's some stats said? Where's some
What
stories?
the fuck am I going to get stats with somebody who didn't
Where you
report on
gonna
something
get
that happened to them?
something
Well,
from?
where?
Like where are you gonna get some stats? Where your stats said?
How do I get stats that don't exist?
Like where are you getting this from? Are you just is it just anecdotal evidence? Basically, what I'm saying is it just
You
like
ain't- be
I have
honest with you,
seen
you ain't
this,
pulling
and
no
so
stats out either.
and so that is the
We just
the,
having a
the way
we just
it
having a
is.
random discussion about opinion versus opinion, and in your opinion, you still think it's more domestic disputes in terms of what a man is the aggressor,
Yes.
and what we saying is
It truly really is.
At one point,
and I have
listen to the thing.
and
I'm
there are
telling you,
stats
Well,
to
just,
back it
but
up.
just let me finish.
It's 2020.
Just let me finish it. Back in the day, it used to be like maybe a 90-10, right? 90% of the time, it's the male that was the aggressor. You beating on that woman in the household, right? Maybe 40 years ago. What we saying is that gap has closed. Say it's still mostly a male aggressor, but it's more 60-40 than 90-10 now. You know what I'm
And there's
saying?
no way to prove it because guys would never come out and tell you that they're getting their ass whipped by their woman.
Yeah.
Okay, move on. Just like,
I mean, because ain't nobody gonna look up nothing because it may have been reported. But
circling the drain,
we just
move on.
talking.
just move on. Next time.
We'll put like in that particular case, I think he should press charges to keep anybody else because first off, he would be a trendsetter to say, look, I don't want no money, but she got to pay for this.
Oh, talking about Johnny Depp?
Yeah. Like, no, I'm not trying
charge.
to get no money. I'm not trying to tarnish her, but I do want to set the rule. Just like if the situation was reversed, we would want justice for that young lady,
which they were trying to do, because she was on stage at the Me Too movement making all these announcements about him doing this, that, and the other.
Exactly. So in this, defamation of character, you actually physically assaulted me. I have proof of it. You should go to jail in that case, and not necessarily make it make an example of we're reporting this just because it's the shoe on the other foot, but just to make it just.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there you have it. Another heated discussion. I got Olsen on here today. Anyway, so also last week, did we talk about Kobe? Was Kobe? That was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we talked about Kobe.
Yeah. So recently, Snoop, I guess he's doing an apology tour because he was on Red Table Talk with Jada and apologizing again. You know, he apologized to Gayle King, and we didn't really talk about that because that wasn't out at the time that we finished. He apologized. Basically for calling her a funky dog hair bitch, which is weird from Snoop Dogg.
I didn't know that he had apologized for that. I know he definitely said. I remember hearing him say, when they said we were on your ass, he wasn't making no physical threats. It's just that he was finna. You ain't probably.
Cancel you from a social media standpoint,
right? But I didn't know they made. I wouldn't apologize for calling the dog hair. But it's just how I felt in the moment.
Yeah. And he said he was upset. One of the things that I was really thinking about is the fact that he went on Red Table Talk to do these type of discussions and bring this stuff out. And I wonder why there's no platform for, why does he need to go to Red Table Talk? Why is it no platform for guys where he could come here and apologize amongst other men instead of having to go on Red Table Talk or another platform?
Kind of placate to a particular audience.
Exactly.
It'd be a great idea for a show, but most times we still live in a male-dominated society where you come out and say, I apologize. You ain't no real nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's
you a bitch. You a bitch.
You said it. You mean what you said. But I don't think he had to apologize for that.
I think there are platforms for him. But
where?
He doesn't want to use those platforms.
What platform would that be? Is he going to go on the Breakfast Club? That's really not the place for that.
The thing about it is that most of these serious platforms where his apology will be heard by the most people
are females.
No, our people don't watch.
What are those platforms?
For instance, Don Lemon on CNN. Our people don't watch that.
Do we watch Red Table Talk?
Not really.
Yeah, more of us probably watch that than would watch Don Lemon on CNN.
I watch them both about the same.
You got Aaron Burnett on CNN. You got Joy, what's her name, on MSNBC. There are platforms out there. Hell, we got a whole news network with Roland Martin on it.
That is true.
So, there are platforms for him to go and be amongst his people, but the problem is, are the people who
you want to hear this
going to watching those platforms, or have we become or has Black Twitter basically convinced us that they are the authority, and whomever they have associated with being the place to go for Black people and Black voices to be heard is the only place, when there are tons of other outlets out there, but we're just not being shown those, and we're just ignoring them.
Should he apologize? Should Snoop have apologized?
I think what the problem is where we at in our culture right now and trying to protect Black women. So they put that pressure on them, we don't need to be treating our Black women that way.
It's funny you mention that, because I thought about this and I heard this a little bit. His attack on Gayle King was seen as an attack on Black women as a whole. Felt like if the fact that you went at one Black woman felt like an attack on all Black women, when really his beef was just with
people
Gayle
can't seem to separate.
Well, see,
we having trouble separating.
Well, see, the problem with the way Snoop went at her,
and he went at her hard in the paint.
Yeah, he went at her hard, but he didn't, I guess, add the substance to it and to make it kind of credible.
I always wonder why we expect that journalistic approach from everybody. He's just a rapper.
A rapper with an opinion,
right? What do you? Why we expect high quality
Like,
banter.
you should have put this, in a certain
from a-
context. Like,
Why did you expect? Why do you expect a high thought out,
Yeah, he was high at the
formulated
moment.
opinion from
He
Snoop?
was high when he was talking to shit. So
and he doesn't represent everybody. So what is the Snoop has to,
Well, see, I don't think it's the problem of that he made the statement.
run.
That's not the problem. The problem isn't that the statement was made.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that at no point in time after he made the statement did he try to at least walk back the parts of it that were negative. You see what I'm saying? And then he proceeded to double down on the same narrative.
But it's Snoop. Like, have we not
Did
listened?
they
Did we
run
not
over his cities?
Right? Did we not listen to his music? Did we not know who Snoop
This ain't
is?
shit but hoes and tricks.
Like, if somebody else wanted to come back and defend it, I can understand.
But
You're a different
Snoop-
person, but
Snoop has tried to change his image.
not
Yes.
much.
He has a little bit.
He cleaned it up so he could do some shows, but he's still Snoop. He's still weed. He's still cussing. He's still doing this, that, and the other.
He's smoking a lot of weed.
And two, Snoop put himself out there as being the one that's going to speak on this subject.
Not
And-
the sole person that was going to
and
speak
he
on it, though,
also
right?
has-
He just had an opinion.
That's first off, and second off, Snoop has a team that is supposed to be helping him to craft.
No, he don't.
Yes, he does.
What team?
Every
No.
every rapper who has
every
who is
person in
trying to
Hollywood
make
has
a
a team
personality has a team.
He made
kinda with your-
those
help
two
with your
shows.
image.
Those two shows he has on TV. He probably has a team that helps with those shows. But when it comes to social
My
media,
personal social media, I'm sitting on my
Snoop
couch.
is
There's
just-
not a team.
it's not a team.
There
He
is
just
a team. They hire
I-
social media consultants.
Hey,
you do?
Snoop
If he don't have a
is them.
team,
Some people do,
He need a
but-
goddamn team.
For what?
He need a team.
because at this point, you got to realize some people that get at a point in their life where they really just don't give a fuck.
Because Snoop
'Cause
is
you
a
can't-
brand. That's the reason why. If he's trying to sell himself as a brand, he needs a team.
But the thing is, the brand that he sells represents what he said. Oh, dog head ass bitch. That's what I expect from Snoop's brand.
Yeah.
Good point there. Because my whole thing is like,
no,
if you,
not,
if you
not what I
cussed her
expect from
out,
Snoop
if you
brand, because
cussed her
Snoop tried
out,
to change his brand.
To what?
to what?
Snoop and Martha.
That's
Snoop is
Martha's
trying
brand.
to-
You know she's the only person that's been to federal prison?
Yeah,
Right.
She's the prisoner, not me.
So basically,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that Snoop, by associating himself with her and
She's
trying to
the-
go
she's the bad
more
guy, not Snoop.
mainstream, he is trying to change his narrative.
You know?
By hanging with Martha Stewart, a federal convict.
Like,
Come on, bro.
Can this,
Come on, bro. Are you reaching though?
Like-
Because Snoop, like,
like-
trying to make it seem like he's
if we
trying
was
to
talking about,
change
if we was talking
himself.
about Kevin Hart and Kevin Barr having a team and how he brand and how his approach is, yes, all that shit exists. I'm talking about Snoop Dogg.
Yes, Snoop has a team.
Okay.
Snoop is a big enough star, and he has enough
That he can
avenues
afford it,
That he
right?
has a team.
That he could
All right,
afford it, but
so-
I don't think he got one.
Should we
has his
expect
team.
well thought out opinions about anything from Snoop?
No.
Should we expect well thought
Why
out
not?
opinions from anyone? Like, are we putting
That's
too
not
much on
his
our
job.
black celebrities
Right,
to
we
come
are.
up and
I
be?
think we are.
Boom.
That's not their
No,
lane.
I'm not putting too
not
much.
their lane.
I'm not putting too much pressure on him. My goodness, can you just not curse at the lady?
Okay, but no, no.
Can you just not curse at the lady?
But
Hey,
my
we cursed at the lady.
problem is
Can we not
that he
curse at
brought
the
is that it wasn't as if Gayle King was wrong. He has every right to be upset with Gayle King. She was we discussed it. We
cussed the lady out.
Yeah, we cussed her out. We had all as a unit agreed that she was wrong. And when he brought that shit to her, and then he goes on Red Table Talk, and they're like, "Well, when you said those
They
things,
started
Snoop,
guilt-tripping
I
the
felt
shit out
like
of
you
you."
were talking at me as a whole, as black women as a whole. That's kind of
And my
that's
thing
a
is,
lot.
the first
That's a
question I
lot.
would have asked you is like, would you have done the interview that way? No? Then you know I wasn't talking to you.
Exactly. I mean, it feels to me like we're putting too much on Snoop's plate, given the kind of person that he's showing us he is through his music. And two, I feel as though, that's a nice sack. And I feel as though
Pause.
we've taken this, I know, pause. And then I feel like we've taken this subject and made it include people that he didn't include when he was coming up with this.
Because it ain't like he said, he ain't say general,
Yeah.
fuck all you women. He called her name. We knew exactly what
I
he was
am
talking
upset at you, and for that, I don't feel like he was wrong. I don't feel like anybody should apologize for anything. That's just pretty much me.
I just don't.
Because you want us
I
to
know you don't-
apologize because your feeling got hurt.
I know you don't agree.
I just don't agree with that because, like, at what point do we maybe need to start holding people just a little bit more accountable?
Accountable for what and from whom?
To be a little bit more respectful.
Why?
just of your fellow human being.
Why?
Why not?
Why?
You say be a little bit more respectful if you're a fellow human.
Yes,
Was she
the
being
fellow
respectful?
human beings.
Was she being respectful when she brought that shit up about that dude?
Yeah, she was.
Oh.
Because,
Was she?
Wait, I said that she was well within her right for what she did. She was well within her
Apparently
right.
not. A lot of people got a problem
Now,
with
I
it.
said that she probably shouldn't have done it because I wouldn't have
You got
done
to-
it
and-
because, again...
So
I would
Snoop
have
was well in
looked
his
at
right
it-
to cuss her ass out too then, right?
I mean, I feel like if you're telling me-
technically, yes, he was you well within your right.
In the last segment, we
But
talked
that
about
doesn't-
consequences for your actions.
but
She
that-
did something that was not well received, and there was a consequence for that reaction from people. We did not like that. Snoop also gave her a negative reaction. Yet
Okay.
he seemed to be the only person to be held accountable for telling her that we didn't like what the fuck she did.
But like you said though,
Yeah,
it
but
goes
I
both
think
ways.
I think it's more the way he said it because
But
other people.
he was a little
because
aggressive. He was fairly aggressive.
But
He was
and that's
fairly
all I'm
aggressive.
saying. I'm not saying that he didn't have a right to be
But the thing-
mad at what she said. I'm just asking for just a tad bit more civility.
But which
That's
is
it.
why he's
Just
on
a
this apology
tad.
tour, because he felt that like, okay, yeah, maybe the dog head,
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
wrong. That was wrong.
That's
But
all
to
I'm
my
saying.
thing is, where did you say it? You said it on Twitter, or you said it on Instagram. Apologize on Instagram and let it go.
Yeah.
Because now you
don't
don't.
apologize. Like I said before, go ahead. Keep on your
Instead
thought.
of making it this big tour, I'm sorry, everybody. Hey, are you okay? You cool? You cool? You cool? with My apology. Just
Well, I'm
like,
trying to appease you.
hey, you know what, guys? After I thought about it, after I calmed down, I apologized to you. I shouldn't have called her that type of name.
But
I was upset at
She's
the
just
moment.
a raggedy head bitch. Yeah, I don't know what you.
I shouldn't have done it.
I ain't with the apology.
And leave it at that.
For me, what happens is that like Snoop swung the she swung the pendulum way out there, so Snoop had to swing the
All
pendulum
the way
way back, and so what you get is you get these vast pendulum swings where you wouldn't get them if you would just have just a little civility. Just a little. I mean,
Or-
like he didn't have to call her a dog head ass bitch. I mean,
Shut up.
like,
Hey, I'll be honest.
he
What
could've-
you apologize?
I'm gonna be 100.
he could've-
I'm gonna be
I
100
mean,
with
there's
her.
like
You'd have probably-
100,000 other things that he
You'd have-
could have
you'd have
called
probably
her.
been called worse
that
in your
would have
life.
been
Yeah.
that would have been just because I've been called a bunch of other things in my life don't make it right.
It don't make it
That's
wrong either.
simple. Yes, it does make it wrong.
You might have deserved
It
it.
may
You
not.
can earn some of these name callings.
in no
I'm sorry.
way-
We acting like people can't get. She earned that
in
shit.
no way, shape, or
If he-
form
if he-
do I deserve to be degraded. I'm
Okay.
sorry. You can have that.
So
by
you can do.
yourself.
So you can go. You think you can run around doing whatever you want to do to people and not get any smoke back?
No, I never said you can go out here.
So
and do
like you
anything
said,
that
she
want to
swung that
people.
pendulum out there, right? And she
She-
caught all the wrath for it. Then you just got to deal
Okay,
with it.
but the way that she swung the pendulum out there was nowhere close to the way he swung the
You can't
pendulum
control
back.
your consequences.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Because
So
if
you-
people have a little civility,
No,
we'll be
so
all
you
right.
You can't
expect-
control your consequences
Right, you get
or
to-
people's reaction to
Right,
what
you get
say.
to do whatever you want. Then you gonna tell somebody how to react.
Yeah. You don't get to tell
yes,
how to
the
react.
civility needs to be
Get
happening.
outta here.
The
I
world
don't know
needs
how
to
I-
move
So-
towards civility because we've got somebody in the presidential office because we fucking let civility go. I
That
don't
ain't why
understand why
you-
y'all don't understand
Who
it.
is this we? The people, like it was everyone. It was damn near, world peace. The 8 years prior to. Now that it's 4 years, where did the civility go? It was always there. He just
Yeah.
pressed the right button to activate it, and everyone's like, "What? People are a-holes?" Yes. You just had to press the right button. It wasn't your button to press, but when
what
they
I-
pressed it, you were like, "Oh."
But what I'm saying is that at first, people used to have a little
At one point,
civility.
yes, I agree.
And so every time that you just let just a little bit of the civility go, somebody sees that line and they say, well, if you let that civility go, I'm going to step right over that line. And so now the line just keeps moving
I
to the
ain't with
point
that.
where we're at now. We're like, you got
that-
these.
that turn the other cheek
you
shit
got
ain't for me.
Not saying turn the other cheek.
That's pretty much
just
what you're
saying,
asking.
No, what I'm saying is that like, why come you just can't? He
The
could
thing
have
is,
softened what
here's
he said.
the thing is, you pretty much give
to respect who to
But the thing is,
respect to
you pretty much give an asshole the green light to go out here and be an asshole and not expect any real smoke about it. Like, I can go out here and be an asshole all I want, and all you gonna say is, sir, that's not a good idea. You should probably not do that. And I get to keep being an asshole. Because I don't feel threatened at all about, sir, you probably don't want to do that. That's not a good
but
idea.
you're talking about being an asshole. What Gayle King did was nowhere close to being an asshole. What she did was lazy journalism, maybe.
Lazy.
What she did was she did.
Now you're just trying to justify what she did,
but
it is
because
what it is.
because again, I think that what we did was we saw what we wanted to, and we took offense to it, and we jumped in and said,
"Is it not the same thing?
Wrong.
Is it not the same thing you doing with Snoop comment? You saw what he did, and you took offense to it. Now you're saying it's wrong. But I don't see no smoke with what Snoop did. None at all.
Have I called Snoop any kind of names?
What do you mean?
Have I called him a rabbit ass bitch? I mean, have I called him?
I mean, his name is Snoop Dogg. Like,
I mean, I didn't say
the
nothing
dog kind of swing his.
I just offered him an alternative.
Well, you just no. You're trying to correct his behavior. So, but the thing is, what I'm telling you is, you had a problem with what he did, and I don't. Is what I'm saying.
And again, that's fine in your book. To me, again, when we let civility go, we get.
I don't think that's absence of civility.
Then how do you correct civility when it's one side being uncivil?
Now, again, if civility is to be just dismissed, cool. Then by all means, you got all right to be uncivilized. But where in this situation did Gayle King let civility go? Did she ever
by not respecting the fact that this man was not in the grave? His wife still got to bury him, and you want to talk about the negative aspects of his life?
It was insensitive.
That's uncivil.
Okay, so
insensitive at best.
So if you can say it's insensitive, right? Mm-hmm. And what would be a proper response?
Calling you a dog head bitch. I think that's insensitive.
It's not.
Because he ain't put his hands on.
It's
he
not.
just called you a name. Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. It's just a name. Jesus Christ. You can say whatever you want.
That is not a proper response.
You can say whatever you want to say about me, but as long as you don't put your hands on it.
Oh, this is just not a just.
To paraphrase a little bit. You seem to think that we could be all benefit from being a bit nicer to each other. Just a little bit nicer to each other.
I mean, I'm just exactly. Just be a little nicer and meet uncivilized people with the proper amount of uncivility.
I don't know what the proper amount is, but I get that you're saying that you feel like that she was met with the correct amount of pushback.
Because he didn't put no hands on her. He just called you a name.
And he pulled back and was like, I apologize. Which is to me like, if I say you dog head rat ass bitch, and then I come back and say, you know what, I was upset at the time.
You ain't a dog head rat ass bitch. You just a dog head bitch.
That to me is like the correct amount of responsibility for your incivility by saying, you know what, I was wrong for that. I shouldn't have done it, and I was upset.
And I think
leave it at that.
And that's what I'm saying. We should learn from that. That maybe the first thing out of your mouth shouldn't be to call somebody a dog head bitch just because they did something you don't like.
So, this got me thinking about celebrities and social media, and the fact that Beyonce is not on social media. And this is not really about Beyonce per se, but I think one of the best things that Beyonce ever did was not get involved with social media and to not be out and about personable, so that there's still this mysticism to them, so that you don't get to see when mistakes are made. And so basically what I'm saying is, when Beyonce makes a mistake, she doesn't have to instantly apologize for that shit. When the Ivy Park stuff went down and she didn't have any sizes over, I think, an XL, and people were like, they always do this to us, blah 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 blah, there's no apology coming from Beyonce, because she ain't got no presence. There is no presence. And I think that a day when celebrities weren't so personable and weren't so easily accessible and weren't so, hey, I'm right here. This is my opinion. This is how I feel.
Pull up on your boy.
Pull up. I think that was better. I think that time was better.
Well, see, I liked it better when, you can make your brain farts on Twitter and Instagram or whatever, but the media didn't cover them like they were gospel. You see what I'm saying? So, like, you can go on Twitter and you can say your little whatever, and it gets a note or whatever, cool, whatever, but it wasn't mass news out there for all of us to like consume.
That your president, anything he puts is like.
Exactly.
But outside of the president, I'll be honest with you, I like the accessibility to the artist or whatever, because it's optional. right? Do you want to sell yourself more or less? And if you feel like you're at a comfortable level like Beyonce, which and a lot of other people that aren't on social media, you don't. But when you do and you want access to your fan, you want them to know what you're doing when you're doing it to stay a buzz, you put yourself out there on that limit. And how you respond is how you respond. You just got to be willing to deal with the consequences.
And to that point, like, when people are like, oh, this person gonna get canceled. They're gonna get canceled for this. Does anyone really get canceled anymore?
Not really.
Are they really any consequences?
Did anybody ever really get canceled?
They would
Disappear for a little while.
There are a few people that like disappear and like nigga. Like I think he might have really
just died.
really died.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most people don't typically get canceled. The people who get canceled are people who are not high enough to ride out the wave. Who usually like work for someone. They have an employer that they have to answer to. Like the people who went at Blue Ivy that worked for Bazaar and Harper's, they get canceled because they could lose their job. Mm-hmm. They were talking. They said that foolishness from like the official blue check of Harper's, the official blue check of Bazaar. Mm-hmm. They have something to lose. Oh, yeah. I can cancel you, and you might lose your job. That's a problem. But somebody like Snoop, how can I hurt?
You can't cancel Snoop.
I can't fuck with Snoop. I can't. I'm not going to. I don't fuck with you. So I'm still gonna eat. I still gonna sit in my Arab tower and shit in my golden toilet. Like, you don't really affect me on a day-to-day basis. How can I cancel you? You know what I'm saying?
I think what the problem is that like I can cancel just a little bit of your funds.
That is true.
So you cancel out a little bit of their funds, but they still got funds going on, so they will be alright.
And I think if your brand is big enough, like those are like the ancillary fans. Like you just came on a couple albums or a couple, time ago. So you're not really. You could affect me, but in the long run, you're like.
And I think a lot of people. Another thing with this is that a lot of people who are quick to cancel people are people that were never really fans to begin with. That's the same thing that happened with the NFL. That was big with the NFL. When people were like, I'm canceling the NFL. I'm not watching the NFL.
Like, you don't really
Did you really watch the NFL? Were you really a fan to begin with?
Actually, the numbers were down.
No, the numbers were down. The number was down. But it wasn't. But you have to understand.
But it wasn't down enough to really hurt the juggernaut.
Not only were numbers were down, but they still were better than any other professional sport.
Yeah.
And the numbers were also down because it was a two-headed monster. You had black people who were upset because they felt like they were underrepresented and being treated poorly by the slave masters, which was the NFL, and they got white people who felt like they were being underrepresented. Exactly. Why did you let them do this? So they're like,
that's why the numbers was really.
That's why the numbers were down because it was two sides that you had to placate, and it's tough. It's really tough. I mean, I get it.
They rode out the storm.
Yeah, we're gonna keep playing football. Y'all will be back.
So that's the thing about it is that like if you got enough gravitas or mass, yes, you can ride out the storm. So are we really counseling people, or are we just counseling maybe one or two of your checks?
Or are we just really not just paying attention anymore?
Sometimes
because I look at the NFL, the way they make their money is not really. It's almost like a pot. Like if all four of us are owners. When all the money comes in, you get a cut. You get like TV money. That's the biggest one.
Well, see, that's the problem is that most of their money is TV money. Now the owners are mad though because all stadium money is their personal money.
Yeah.
And so basically, like
the teams with the nicest stadiums, they
make the most money.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why Jerry Jones funded Jerry World was because he knew that those luxury boxes
they make bank.
And all of that stuff. That's where his money is made. Yeah. And also by having standing room only, that's where his money is made. Oh, that's a killing too.
He can fit 100,000 in there with standing room only.
Right. So
not to mention it's always being used for something, whether it's a championship game, a college, high school game.
That's what the money is year round or like outside of NFL access. So I got, you might have one of the soccer league teams. You got college games. Some of those NFL stadiums even have like Final Four. They're constantly bringing in revenue. You killing. You got the game, you didn't fund your own fucking stadium. You got it funded by the state.
Yeah, the state built it.
A lot of states are not funding stadiums anymore.
Not anymore.
For the reason of
not anymore.
For the reason of that they are really money losers in smaller markets. Like only big markets, they're money makers. most of your smaller markets, they're money losers.
You know what they tell them? You make your money on the back end with taxes.
Yeah.
And that never comes back. You don't never get that money. You never get that money
and
back.
so now, a lot of, I think the last really publicly funded stadium, you would have to go back.
Was it a baseball stadium?
You would.
Somebody recently tried to get some money.
Tampa Bay, maybe, when they built that Tampa Bay Rays Stadium, probably about 5-6 years ago.
Something.
Or may have been more than that, because pretty much Jerry World was built by Jerry Jones himself, and everything post Jerry World has been funded privately. But as you can see, most of those privately funded, built from the bottom up stadiums have been built in Los Angeles, Las Vegas.
LA, but his thing, ever since Jerry World, what's been the newest stadium built?
They built one out there in Las Vegas, right? That one.
I mean,
Las Vegas is opening up. LA is dropping one.
Atlanta just got one.
Mercedes
it's been like 2 years. Yeah, Mercedes Benz. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is weird because now we have two Mercedes Benz.
One in New Orleans.
Let's see.
Nashville tried to build one, and they told them they build it your fucking self.
Yeah. That is the whole.
Anybody coming here, bro?
That is the whole reason. That's the whole reason why we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the
two that defense
Chargers and LA Rams.
That Oakland Stadium was trash. They had a fucking plastic cup holding leaks. Like it was, the leaking in the ceiling, and they had a plastic cup taped to the ceiling to catch rainwater in it. They was,
and that's
really,
where the Oakland A's play too. So it was like,
they had double use.
And it's because before he passed away, was on the Raiders?
Al
Davis. That's why he left Oakland in the first place.
Because
he went to LA and they're like, we're gonna play in the Coliseum, but we're gonna get you this new stadium. We got you. The closer it got to actually making the deal and actually putting a new stadium in Los Angeles, they was like, nah, I didn't quite break through. I'm going back to Oakland because they sweetened the deal to where I don't really have to pay for it.
Yeah.
And now that deal has ended, now they own the Las Vegas, so it's
And so
I think Las Vegas is the better market. You can get it out of California. You got all of Nevada and most of the surrounding states to yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you're not that far from a lot of your fans in California. They can still make that trip. I think it's 3 hours.
It's like a $50 flight.
Yeah, you could drive Vegas, or you could fly, and it's real quick Vegas and cheap. So you can continue to be a fan of the Raiders.
Yeah, LA to Vegas is probably $50.
Yeah, so it's a win. It's a win for everybody around. You would think,
and they fly like pretty much
except for the Oakland fans, because they were like, we done lost them twice.
Except for the Charger fans, because the Charger fans moved from San Diego to LA and came out and realized they like 8 deep in the sports totem pole behind a team that's no longer even in the fucking city, in the Raiders. People represent the Raiders before they represent the team that's actually there. They'll go see the Raiders.
But Qualcomm Stadium, you were like, okay.
Yeah. Understood. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up because we're going to have an actual something, Are we still
going to talk about sports then? Can we just finish up talking about sports?
I mean, if you feel like, we're not that deep in the game, then not. If you want to talk about sports, talk about sports.
Let's just finish talking about sports.
What did you have in mind?
Let's talk about the All-Star game, since that just happened recently. What do you think about the changes that they made to make the All-Star game more entertaining?
I think it's a keeper for me. It's because it was way better than it's been in years. At least they tried something.
At least if nothing else, I could watch the fourth quarter and be happy with it.
Even the only quarter that didn't seem competitive to me was the first one. Yeah. After that, they realized there's money on the table.
Yeah, even if you're just playing for a charity,
right?
Even if you're just playing for a charity, like I think it's the move. It's the way.
Yeah.
To get you ramped up. They were playing for something. The only thing I didn't like is the game ending on a free throw. Like it shouldn't end in a free throw.
I kind of agree with Bron though. Like Bron said, it should finals end on free throws. So
but finals are not playing to a finite number.
No,
like I think you should at least win by 2.
I actually like
that's coming from a street ball player though.
Yes,
that's coming from a street ball.
I actually like the target score because like they know what they needed to win. Yeah. And you just have to
the target score is.
I think we do need some better refs though. That ref was on some bullshit that fourth quarter.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah, he was a little extra, but again, he's got to be ref it the same way in the first as you do the fourth. in my opinion.
I
I've never liked fourth quarter no calls.
No,
Because
you
the
can still
game is
call,
still
but he
the
was,
game.
No, you still got a call, but he was a little over the top.
So if we talk about sports, what do you think about the fight last night? About the Wilder Tyson Fury fight.
I just don't like that all of a sudden everybody is a boxing aficionado who knew the whole time. Like, nigga, for real?
What?
I ain't heard you talk about no other fight, but all of a sudden you know for a
fact
fact that Deontay Wilder is now washed. He's done.
Leading up to the fight, that fight was super under marketed. Like, nobody was talking about it. Wasn't really no headway. Wasn't really no whole rumble.
It was.
And then the fight, he lost. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, that nigga lost."
Actually,
he said nothing.
It was marketed, but the problem was that it was an ESPN Plus production, which basically means that ESPN promoted it on only ESPN.
Not only they only promoted on ESPN, but they had the same crew from Monday Night Football doing courtside in the fight. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? You ain't Jim Lampley. Who are you?
Right. So like,
well, some dude on the street like, yeah, you know, they about to fight.
Exactly. Oh shit, that nigga hit him in the head.
But yeah, we went to watch the last fight though. We watched that man beat that dude up the last time, and they just let him out of there. So I didn't even want to see this fight.
From a boxing standpoint, like, I knew Deontay Wilder was he's a flawed fighter. He's a very flawed fighter. He is a one-sided fighter, but his one trick is a hell of a fucking trick. It's a hell of a fucking trick. He got like, you ever play like one of those first-person shooter Call of Duty, and you had a guy that only used fucking sniper rifles and like is deadly as shit, but once you get on top of him, he can't do nothing with you. That's Deontay Wilder as a fighter.
Like I say, he keep you away the whole game. He get up about 20 kills, you catch him, you kill him about 10 times, and he gets set back up and he win the game.
Yeah. This is exactly how Deontay Wilder is. Deontay Wilder, if you rush him, and that's what happened last night, is he got rushed and I can't hit you with my sniper rifle because you all up in close in my face.
Yeah, I can't really get a chance to really unload.
Yeah. And two, he's so rudimentary with his, oh my God. This is what irks me so much about watching him because, and granted, people, after his last fight, people were like, he's a genius. He sit there, he study you, and he wait on the right time to throw that right hand. No, he is a ABC level fighter. People keep thinking that he Jay-Z and Nas, and he the fucking Migos. That's what kind of fighter he is. Yeah. It's really just like jab, jab, jab. I pray to God you don't make a mistake. I'm gonna take your whole head off. That's his whole game.
Well, see, that's the thing is that Deontay Wilder, they pretty much said it was that he had a puncher's chance, which means that like if he would have hit him with a knockout blow in just the right spot at just the right time, he was going to sleep.
And he did that shit. He'd done it like 49 times.
But if he didn't get that just right blow at just the right time and knock this cat out, he was gonna basically pick him apart. By actually,
and he did last game.
But
that's what he did last fight.
Like I say, yeah, that's what happened last fight. But what happened is, dude went and started lifting some weights or something, and got some power behind them punches.
Not only
and
that,
knocked his ass out.
He put on like 20 pounds, so he was like 255 last fight, and he came in this fight like looking like real. Man, he looked fat. He looked fat. He was like 270. But Wilder, he had like 50 pounds on Wilder, and even when he wasn't punching him, he was grabbing him, just like throwing him around because he outweighed dude by like 50 pounds. He was like, I'm gonna just impose my will on you because you a little nigga. That's basically what happened last night.
But see, and see, that's the problem is that Deontay Wilder is not really a technical boxer.
Nah,
he's not gonna. He's not going, okay, man, this ain't working, so let me go to something else. Okay, that's not working, let me go to something else. And his cornerman know this, so his cornerman ain't got no help for him. No. So it's not like he can tell him, all right, Deontay, he's going to try to rush you, so uppercut, uppercut, lean in, whatever. No,
use your body weight, use your shoulder, he's not really giving him instruction because he hadn't really...
He's got nothing to tell him. He's like...
fucking instructions was, oh my God, he was like, wait on the right hand. He gonna rush you, wait on the right hand. These are your fucking advice? Nigga, I'm bleeding out my ear. This is your advice?
That's how they wasn't even stitching him up.
They gave him 7 stitches. They wasn't taking care of his wounds. And they weren't asking him how he was doing. And when they stopped the fight, he seemed shocked. Of course he was shocked, because at no point did you ask me how I was during the corner.
I ain't feeling, champ. I'm not liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it's not like you're giving them anything else. You like, how you feeling, champ? What's going on? I'm not liking what I'm seeing. You're not Bob. You're not.
Yeah,
you're not dipping under the jab. You're not giving You're not giving me anything.
Nah.
If you do not show me something, I'm stopping this fight. It was like
it didn't happen like that. It was just in the corner. Hey, give him the right hand. Give him the right hand. He go back out there. Stop the fight. Hold on, what the fuck? I've been doing this for 6 rounds now.
I mean, if this dude was getting his ass
and he was
for 6 rounds,
he was.
I totally
and them numbers,
he got knocked down 3-4 times.
He got knocked down 3-4 times, and them numbers.
They should have stopped the fight, because
they 100% should have stopped the fight. They should have stopped it earlier. As soon as he started bleeding out his ear, you should have stopped the fucking fight, because he was obviously
he was bleeding out there. There's something wrong with your head.
He was off on his feet from the time he got hit in the back of the head. He was never right.
At that point, he was looking for help. He looked at the ref like, you don't just let him hit me like that.
Right.
Okay. And shit over.
Because here's the thing, your upper body can be like my homeboy told me a long time ago. Your legs will make a coward out of you, because once you can't really get your, because really that's where a majority of your power comes from, is your legs. So when you go to hit him and you just standing flat footed, your arm ain't gonna do nothing.
Nah.
So when he hit him in the back of the head, he was disoriented. And he can never really land anything flush, is because he never could really set himself to get a good punch off. And when he's coming at you and you try to like,
and the thing is,
you can't even move. You got to stand there.
His game plan was the exact same game plan from the first fight. Matter of fact, it's not like a game plan changes. He's been doing it for 49 fights.
Yeah.
It's a Dante Wilder.
He can box I mean, we ain't gonna totally throw him on. He can box a little bit, but he ain't the most technical fighter you ever seen. He got, like you said, he got like 2 plans.
You know what? I can't even say he box a little bit.
He can box. Nah, bro.
But he is
the epitome of One Punch Man. He is the epitome of One Punch Man. I got one punch for you. Matter of fact, he lost the last fight. He would have lost the last fight.
He got beat up. He should have lost the last fight.
Yeah, not the fight against Fury. The fight against the Cuban dude.
Yeah, and he should have hit that fight.
I ain't see that fight.
He lost that. He was losing that fight. He lost every round in the 6th. He
hit him with that clean one.
He hit him with that I got it right hand, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. So what I'm saying is the way to beat him, the MO is out, and his corner needs to be pushing him and trainer to do more, to be more. In that first fight, he could have beat Fury. When he was swinging on Fury, Fury ducked under that punch every single time. One more punch
you got
for that duck, and he's a wrap. All you had to do, because if I know that every time I hit you, you're gonna duck under this punch. Boom! All I need is one good uppercut, but he would never follow that up with that second punch. It's always 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2. Swing for the heavens. 1, 1, 1. If you're doing that, and I know that's what you're gonna do, I'm gonna have to be pushing you to be better.
Because what you wanted him to do in that situation was when he ducked, you want to hit him with the uppercut, then you want to hit him with that right. Go ahead and take him out.
Exactly.
What Wilder
or don't throw it and say like, boom.
Or what Wilder typically does is a jab, haymaker.
Yeah. Jab,
haymaker.
Yeah. Jab. What he wants you to do
doing now is sitting his ass down. He don't need to box no more.
He looks like
still box, but he's gonna have to take way more than a year off. You're gonna have to take some.
I think
you're gonna have to really change your mechanics.
I really think styles make fights. There is not another boxer in the heavyweight division that can do what Tyson Fury does. Tyson Fury is bigger than Wilder. That's a fucking problem. And he's 6'7". There's very few fighters that are bigger than him. He's bigger than him size-wise, height-wise. He's very technical. He got good fucking feet for a dude that's 270. Good head movement for a dude that's 270. No other heavyweight boxer can do that. I think he'd be fine. Matter of fact, had he gone up against anyone else, I think he would probably beat them. Fury was the worst matchup. If he got up against Joshua, who got beat by Ruiz and then just proceeded to beat the shit out of Ruiz on the way back, if he went up against Joshua, he'd have beat Joshua. And if Joshua went up against Fury, and I'm putting it now, and you motherfuckers watching the shit at the house, if Joshua versus Fury, Joshua knock him motherfucker. He don't knock him the fuck out because he is a technical boxer. He is better than Wilder. You can't all that bullshit head movement. He can box. He can fight. That matchup, I'm betting on the brother. I'm putting my money on the brother.
I still
Now
don't
we
think
wrap
he
it
would.
up.
Yes.
All right.
We reached a good time.
We
can
reached a
wrap
good
it up.
time. All right. So we wrap this up.
Unless y'all want to talk more basketball.
Nah, I'm good.
good?
I'm not even watching that much basketball.
It ain't that time yet. I usually ramp up for March Madness. See, like
Well, we
right
got
now,
2 weeks.
Yeah, right now is when you need to start watching college basketball in order to figure out, how you
I
gonna.
I normally ramp up.
bracket.
I usually do that by watching North Carolina, but they so bad.
Oh.
They're so bad that it's like.
Well, see, usually I try to catch a couple of those Pac-12 games, Mountain West, see what's out there on the West Coast.
They were playing last night.
To see how good
What's it called doing
those
now, man?
really
Was it Baylor?
those teams are.
Or Butler, whatever it is.
Then you got out there Butler, Gonzaga, but you know, always concerned about Gonzaga. I'm gonna have to watch a little bit more of them because like every year they always burn me. You always think they're going to the Final Four.
They did go to the Final Four that one year. They went to the championship game against Carolina that year
One
with
year.
Sabonis' son was on their squad. That was 1 year, but
1 year, and then,
but they're constantly good. They're constantly good.
but they just never over the hump good.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, peace. Y'all want to say peace?
Deuces.